everyone, so I'm going to do a little video today on carrot stretches. Now I put a story on my feed a few days ago asking people did they do carrot stretches, and if they did they know why they did them and when the best time of day I think personally is the most effective time to do them. And a lot of people said they do them but they're not sure when the best time is or why, so that's what I'm going to explain today. So first of all I'm just going to show you a little demo with me, and this is my explanation of why it's important to do them correctly, and also understanding a little bit more why we do them. So carrot stretching is basically a form of mobility. It's increasing our horse's range of motion, it's getting them stretching, moving their muscles, particularly the poll, the neck, those junctions, because it's all about moving the neck and the head when we're asking the horses to come round for the carrots. But if I just show you now, if I say I want to touch my toes, there's a couple of ways I can do it. First of all, I can bend my knees, touch my toes, that's really easy. Or if I really want to do it, I just bend through my back and touch my toes. Both of those, technically I've touched my toes, however I'm not really having to stretch or mobilise in order to do that, because I'm compensating. I'm bending my back, curling through my shoulders, really easy to touch my toes, or I'm bending my knees, buckling, and then again, it's super easy to touch my toes. If I think about trying to touch my toes with the right form, tucking my pelvis in, engaging my core, arms nice and relaxed, and then hinging my hips back and trying to touch my toes, you can see I can't really get there. There's a number of reasons why. I've got quite tight hamstrings, which a lot of us as riders do, but also I'm cold. I've not done a warm-up. My muscles are cold, my muscles are tight, so if I went down in the correct form and asked to touch my toes straight away, if I forced that, I'd probably end up hurting myself. And that's something that I think is really important when we're doing carrot stretches, is thinking, when are we asking our horse to do that? Are we asking them to do it when they've been stood in their stable overnight without having warmed up first? Or are we doing it after a ride, once the muscles are nice and warm, and then we're looking for that increase in mobility? So I'm just going to bring Tiger over and demonstrate a couple of the most popular carrot stretches that I think most people do, and just show you some do's and don'ts as well of when's best, what to do when we're doing them. So my advice would be, I really like doing carrot stretches once the horse is warmed up. So for the purposes of this video, Tiger's been in his stable overnight, so I'm just going to show you the adaptations that I'm going to do as a result. So the most important thing that I'm looking for when I'm asking him to come around is the integrity of how he's doing it, so his form. And there you can see that was quite a nice stretch. And what I mean by that is, when he brought his head round towards his shoulder, there was no tilting of the head. He didn't buckle or put any extra weight down one leg or the other. He kept himself nice and square, and literally it was all about the function of his neck and his poll. So I'll show you that one again. And you can see as I'm doing it, it's a very slow movement there. I'm going to ask him to start again. Because he was curling his head, and there, that's the correct movement. So hopefully you can see that there. That was nice, that was correct. But I started that one again because he went to start tilting with his poll. So it's really important when we're doing them, I'm probably going to get mugged now because we don't do these very often, but it's really important when we're doing these carrot stretches, we're thinking about what is it that we're asking the horse to do. Are we asking for the poll to come round and the neck to stretch, opening up the muscles down this side, checking the function of the joints on the inside? So when we're asking him to turn and move his neck, we're wanting that action, we're not wanting that action. It's not that necessarily there's going to be any damage caused by him coming around like that, but the exercise is sort of null and void in that respect if we're getting him to stretch round but all he's doing is twisting, compensating, doing what he finds easy, and like, oh yeah, I can touch my bum, I can touch my shoulder. There's not really any point. So I think it's really important when we're doing these stretches, thinking, what is it that we're asking them to do? What joints are involved? Are their muscles warm? take our time when we're doing them. I'm not going to look for him to suddenly come round and touch his bum straight away. It's a very slow, gradual movement, and then we're going to bring them round. And there you can see that's a really nice stretch. Good. Quickly want to show you as well one of the other really common carrot stretches I see, which is bringing the nose through the front legs. And that's similar to me touching my toes before. So the importance of this one, whereas the other one was much more about lateral flexion through the neck and the poll, this one's kind of stretching over the top line and it's going all the way down the spine to the hind end. So when we're asking them to come down through the front legs, we're thinking about the nuchal ligament at the top of the neck, we're thinking about stretching the longissimus dorsi, the muscles along the back, and we're also thinking about the function of the poll as well. And this one is one that I see a lot of people overdo quite quickly, just because we almost look at it like a bit of a party trick. Can we get our horse's nose through their front legs? So I'm just going to show you how I would approach it with Tiger. And I'm going to just start in front of his leg and get him to lower his head initially. And just see, can he get his nose to the floor without bending his legs? And the answer is yes, he can. So now he's happy doing that. I'm going to, again, bring him down to the floor and then just bring his nose between his knees, just like that. Good boy. I'll give him that carrot. So it's very slow. I'm not straight away looking for him to bring his nose right through his knees straight away. He is quite bendy. I do quite a lot of body work with him. So I know that he has got quite good function. And again there, so that's quite a nice stretch. We'll do that a couple of times, I'll guide him down. But the whole time I'm looking and seeing, is he buckling through his knees? Is he really having to compensate and shift the weight in his legs in order to bend his neck down through his legs? Good boy. The answer is no, so that's good, I can carry on with that stretch. If your horse is tighter through their back and their neck, I wouldn't go as far and as low as quickly. It's all about just judging. Is your horse comfortable? Are they compensating in any way? If so, back off, do less, and just little and often every day, and you'll soon find they get there. What I like to do in terms of carrot stretching versus the bodywork techniques that I show on my little videos are the bodywork techniques that I'm showing you are perfect for before riding, because what we're doing in those exercises is we're looking to activate the nervous system. So we're activating the nervous system. It's very much more controlled. So we've actually got hold of the head, we can feel the body, and also we can keep them in that little spot where we know that there's tension and we're waiting for them to release. You can see there I'm able to keep him with me until I feel that release. So those exercises are brilliant before we ride because it's switching on the nervous system, it's releasing the tension, and it's perfect on the colder muscles. The carrot stretches are perfect on the muscles once they've been warmed up, once they've ridden, because the muscles are nice and warm, and then you're really increasing that range of motion. So I think personally, the combination of both together, but one before riding, one after riding, is the best way to use them. And just taking your time with them, not forcing a stretch, little and often every day. And yeah, you should be good to go. It's a bit like asking one of us to do the splits straight away if we haven't done any mobility work or training in order to get to that point. So just thinking with carrot stretches, little and often, remembering that we've got less control over the movement, so it's our job just to guide the horses where we want them to be without overdoing it. He's really excited now because he's had some carrots. And the passive stretching, you've got much more control, so it's better to do the passive stretching on a cold horse and the active stretching on a horse that's been worked. So hopefully that clears a few things up for you guys, and yeah, any questions, just whiz them in the comments or send me a DM. You gonna say bye?